Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ay, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ay, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal Ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. So every week we do a weekly update and a weekend update. Today is your weekly update. Obviously, we've been going live Monday to Friday. So we're definitely going to keep the weekly updates short because it's all going to be just regurgitated from the day before and the day after. So we're going to keep it short, but we're going to give you guys what you guys really watch the show for, and that's we're going to talk about your bags. We're going to talk about the prices of everything and where we think that things are going to go, and really going to keep it to that. We're going to get a little bit of news. We're definitely going to cover the Bitcoin price action, and really got to hammer in the actual market update. So without further ado, I bring in my partner, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What is up, man?
So we're doing daily lives now. How are you feeling about the lives, and like what do you try to get from them?
Yeah, so I love them absolutely, and I've always felt this way, and I think you feel similar. But like whenever we're live, we get to interact with our community, with the Ordinal community, with new people trying to come into the Ordinal community and Bitcoin ecosystem community. So it's fun because the Q&A is fun, the interactions, just being live is just it's another animal, right? And so but like these recordings are also fun to do just because like you said before, when you love what you do, it doesn't feel like work,
Exactly.
So
kind
of how
you
I
love
feel
what you
about
do. You'll never work a day in your life, and that's how I feel. I feel like this entire time. Obviously we're full-time now, full-time Ordinal Revolution, which is absolutely amazing, but I haven't feel like I've worked since I left my day job.
Yeah, same here. And the wild thing is sometimes we do have to work more, like for that day or something, right? Because like we got to jump into a late night meeting, or we got to put together decks or whatever it is, and so it's okay though, because like we love to do it, we love to talk about it, we love to work hard for these kind of things. So, and this is just it's fun, and I feel blessed at least, and you probably feel the same way.
And the best part about it, we just spent the last 2 hours. We weren't preparing for the show. We were talking about OMBs.
Exactly, man.
I was just telling my wife, I was like, yeah, we didn't do the show yet. We were talking about the OMBs the whole time. She's like, what the hell? I was like, we'll be done soon. So let's do a good job with this one. But let's get into the first thing. Let's talk about the King, right? The King ripped today. I called it this morning in our live episode. I said we're gonna hit about probably 69,000, and I think we're right there.
Yeah, we're pretty close. We're not. I would say we're about $1,200 away from that, which is pretty darn close here. But yeah, so let's go ahead and pull up the chart. And I love to talk about Bitcoin. It's the market driver. It's we kind of see where the sentiment is. But yeah, there's been a big rebound. I guess the market liked the not doing anything with the rates, just keeping it paused. And so we saw like a big pretty much this is the hourly chart. So you're not going to see a lot of choppiness. Typically you'll see more sentiment here because it is the hourly bar. You're getting hourly candlesticks, and since I would say early in the wee hours of this morning, we've seen a green kick up, and we saw a slight dip down here around 11 a.m. Central, and then man, it's just been driving right up. And right now we're sitting at 67,813. And I think you called pretty much to the T here. You said this morning that you expect maybe like another 24-hour period, 24 to 48-hour period to where we get back to that 69. And man, we're right there. So
yeah,
good job on that.
Thank you. I said 69 by the morning, and I still have time to get my prediction completely 100% right. I still truly believe that we'll be at all-time highs by the end of next week. But you did a great job a week or two ago talking about the March dip, and I think we had the perfect. If you want to show the I guess it would be the daily. really quickly. So I think that is the perfect dip. I think that is exactly what we needed to keep moving forward. And that was your call. I think you called it like right around like maybe a week and a half ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago. And it's been dead on.
Yeah, it was more of like, the expectations of like, history doesn't exactly repeat itself perfectly, but it rhymes, right? And,
Yes.
and I think that's what I was looking for, some sort of pullback, because I mean, look at this. This is the end of January, dude, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, literally since January 25th, we've only had 7 red candle days,
Yeah.
and there's a ton of green candle days
Yep.
here. So in my mind, I was like, yes, March like really started to look really good and strong and all that stuff, and I was just kind of like, ugh, a little uneasy because of what we've known
Yeah.
previous halving cycles, is that there is always some sort of pullback. Now, who knows what happens? Obviously, it looks like we might be carrying back to the upwards trajectory. But the biggest thing, the biggest difference is that ETF buy pressure, right? Um, and if that continues, and like, there's only so much market makers can do. There's only so much that GBTC can do to kind of bring sell pressure here. If like the ETF and like all those institutional powers are just buying relentlessly.
Yeah.
Uh, so I don't know. I mean, do you feel like that was the March dip, and we're done?
Yes, I think 100%. I think that was the March dip, and I think that GBTC is selling a certain amount per month, and I think they broke a record for the number of outflows, but it was bought up pretty quickly today by this. I think the same people that sold are the same people that are buying back in with. They're buying the ETF and getting out of the trust, right? That is now an
Yeah.
ETF, and I just think that's because there's no fees, and GBTC has the highest fees and BlackRock has 0 fees. So I think that's what a lot of people are doing. They're just kind of selling their GBTC and getting into BlackRock's ETF. So, but yeah, I think that we've seen the last of the red. I think we are back at 75,000 by the end of next week. You got to think, dude. Next week is just about April, and April 16th to the 19th is the projected halving day, right? And I
Mhm.
think a week or 2 weeks before the halving, dude, we're gonna be closer to 80, 90,000. I'm even thinking we hit 100,000, but I don't even think I'm bullish enough. I think we're over that. I think we're over 100,000 by the halving.
Yeah, I mean, it really depends, right? Like how the next couple days are, because you can see
Yeah,
here, I'm gonna zoom back in, but you can see here that like this sell pressure was really, really strong the last couple days, which kind of brought us back. Like I said, I think it bottomed out at like, I think it wicked down to like 59,000 or something,
yeah,
but like it was for a second. But really 61,000 was kind of like that. Okay, that was scary a little bit, and then now it's bounced back all the way to 67. It's definitely been volatile, I'll tell you that.
yeah,
Bitcoin's been volatile the last about 6 days, and
yeah,
then now with this bump back up, I'd like to see another light red MACD candlestick here, maybe like one or two, and then get into like the dark green if we do go back up. But we'll see what happens, because like, even though today was a green day, it shows as like a light red, right? So if we have like it chops back and forth, from 67 to like 69 tomorrow, and it goes back to 67.8 or 67.5, you'll probably have another, as long as it maybe like 68.1, it'll be another green candle. It'll just be a small one, right?
yeah,
And then we'll have like another red, probably light red candle. But then once we get well above it, the green buy pressure will come back, and I'm okay either way right now. I feel
yeah,
comfortable. I feel like we know where the end game is here, and so it doesn't bother me as long as we're like, there's no some crazy like huge black swan event like World War III, and it tanks to
yeah.
30,000. I just don't see that happening.
Well, you got to remember the Fed hasn't even started cutting rates yet. The Fed has 5 bullets in its chamber, and it can start ripping them out at any time. And I think that this year, has the most, the bullish, like everything possible that can possibly happen. The Fed has 5 interest points that it could just shoot off at any time, which it cause the markets to absolutely erupt, right? And then it's a presidential year with the race being, to the other side, right? Which basically means when I say that is because Trump is leading in most of the polls, right? And if you love him or you hate him, he's leading, and Biden is not. So Biden has the power right now to kind of go in and say what would make the American people happy. And normally, what happens is stimulus, right? And hyping the markets up and just money flowing, right? Everyone was happy in 2021. There was nobody that was sad. Everyone was getting checks and stuff like that. And Biden just announced his child tax credit. So starting in July, I'm going to get some certain amount of money for each kid. And I don't know. So they're going to start pumping these markets in the summer. And I think there's so much money coming on. The Fed dropping rates, markets ripping. Inflation kind of rising again, but then not being a concern. Powell coming out potentially saying we're okay with 3%. Markets flying because of that. I think there's just so many ducks in a row, and we're just gonna go up. I see 100K by having 700K in 500 days. But see what happens.
The 700K, man. Hey, we'll be celebrating on a boat if it gets to 700K. I'll tell you that.
Dude, I'm willing to risk it all, bro. I think I'm staying until 700K, and then at 700K, everyone's gonna get super bullish and say we're going to 1 million. But Shizzy's out. Shizzy has his number.
Yeah. Well, I think like I was talking to my brother too about this because he's been pretty smart with his earnings and stuff and moved it into Bitcoin, and he's kind of like, well, what happens if Bitcoin gets to 200, 300,000? What do I do then? Because like it's gonna be like he believes that he believes in the whole movement of Bitcoin now. He's bought in,
yeah,
and so for me, like I was thinking like what should you do? Because like when we're gonna get into that point, and I think like always having some Bitcoin in a ledger for me is like a future safety net. You know what I mean? And so yes, you can liquidate your Bitcoin once we're towards the top of the cycle to be able to take care of your current situations in the world, like your mortgage, you're paying off everything, so you have zero debt, and then now like you have zero debt and you have like this remaining Bitcoin, so you put yourself ahead of probably like 95% of the world, and so yeah, not financial advice, guys, but that is just conversation I had, and I thought it was actually an exciting conversation to have, I would say.
Yeah.
So.
And it's funny too when you talk to people, it's like, oh man, is Bitcoin risky? And it's like, no, it's the safest thing in my portfolio, right? It's like it's by far the safest thing in my portfolio. So it's safer than the USDT that's in there to me. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
True, man. True. But like TradFi obviously paints it in a different light. But I feel like the large fund managers know that like Bitcoin is the safest within the crypto industry, of course, but also a really safe asset class in regular TradFi too. It is. I mean, they have obviously, and that's the big lie. That's the big smoke and mirrors, because they say it's so volatile, it's not safe, but yet they're selling it to their high end clients. You know what I mean? Now everything else is definitely I agree with them for the most part. There's some blue chips and stuff, but
yeah, man. What we got on the docket for today?
All right. Well, I was thinking what we could do is kind of jump right in and just kind of talk about like different assets within our market update, right? So I want to bring up the OKX first, and we'll talk about BRC20s. But before we jump into that, let's have a little conversation here, because you and I were talking pre-recording, and you said, man, I'm a little bit worried about BRC20s. Obviously, everybody's waiting on the Runes protocol to launch, but there's stuff on Merlin that's happening. You have Unicross working with BRC20s. What is your if you had to bet a good amount of money, what would you say would be the end game for BRC20?
It's tough, man, because I know a lot of people have a lot of bags, and I don't like to crush people's bags, but I do believe they're legacy tokens, and I do think that they come back towards the end of the market. I think people start buying them in the collecting cycle, right? Because you're collecting legacy coins. I think they really take a dip, like massive dip, during the months of April and May and maybe June, but then have a resurgence in the fall. I truly believe that. And when I say massive dip, I mean like it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt bad.
Like
Because
Ordi to like $30 or
like Ordi, yeah, I think Ordi $30 is fair. I think Ordi maybe even lower. I see 90% dip on most of them. And as I'm saying, in the months of April and May, and maybe June, and maybe a resurgence towards the fall. Maybe the end of July, you see Ordi coming ripping back and stuff like that. But or I maybe because the ones that are on the exchanges like Ordi and Sats might actually do well because it's kind of like a play
altcoin.
with Bitcoin. And yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Kind of like an altcoin. But I just truly believe that the runes might actually take that as well. So it's really hard. I don't want to say Ordi to 30, but I think Ordi to 30, like
Yeah.
don't kill me if it doesn't happen. I'm not like sold on it. I wouldn't bet against it, but I wouldn't bet
Yeah.
for it, So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I think that Domo and Layer One Foundation need to really start releasing what they've been cooking. Because there is going to be the only way that I feel like even long term too, like the legacy token theory, I think it's a good theory, but
yeah,
it's also kind of like a happy ending theory, right?
yeah,
Because like there are people that have a lot of bags here. I mean, I actually hold a good amount of BRC20 still, and but I think everybody wants that like just like the door cracked open for hope, right? I'm not
yeah,
saying that it's going to tank or anything, but or it's going to go away, but there's the possibility that it does. I mean, there was different token standards on Ethereum that eventually faded away until ERC20 was finalized. Um, so the difference over here is a lot of these developers went through everything with Ethereum before, and then they were building on Bitcoin. And there was this meta protocol kind of narrative, right? And it's
hmm
still here, the meta protocol narrative. Um, the only way I feel like BRC20s can really sustain and have this like exciting type of activity on whether that's BTC side chains or even on the centralized exchanges for volume is if the meta protocol narrative like starts to take place in terms of like branching out, like they have their
yeah,
own like what I mean, like that they have their own areas that they're like doing stuff with. Like I talked about this before, like atomicals or BRC20s or these tap or whatever it is. um right now they're all just kind of being in the thrown in the shadows right now because everybody's talking about
yeah,
runes this, runes that, runes this, runes that. We heard people talk about like runes is going to possibly bring in like billions of dollars from the Middle East. There's a lot of people that are
yeah,
ready to jump in, and I hope that that these other meta protocols can kind of build their brand and their name and have like their own like kind of like how those layer twos and other chain environments on the EVM side happened before. But I just don't know if that's going to happen, man, because man, runes has really just been taken like so much.
yeah,
I don't know. It's like something that like we can't even like really make a strong like guess on right now because
yeah,
like if we like our lives came down to it, I think you and I would both say runes is going to just take over.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah.
But
If I had
but
to make a bet,
yeah, but I think that because there's like slivers of hope in the sense of like, Merlin is doing a lot of stuff with BRC20s, right? And BRC20s has a lot of liquidity. So we'll just kind of have to see. Time's the only going to be able to tell.
yeah. To your point there, like I truly believe that that basically the competition not just in BRC20s, but with TAP and CBRC20 and atomicals and stuff like that. I think they all get beaten. I don't think it's just, I'm just not trying to destroy BRC20s here. I think it's the entire meta protocols get eaten up by runes. And I think that the reason is before everything's a meme token, right? Everything. I mean, the teams that are building, they're all pivoting. I'm pretty sure Orange came out on their Twitter and they said they're pivoting to a runes. Like,
Oh wow, did they?
It's not the exact words. We're gonna have them on the show, and I'm pretty sure it'd be stupid not to. It'd be stupid not to. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be stupid not to. And then you have the EVL token now is going to be a runes token. It's just the first one. I think track eventually becomes a tap token. I just see there's no builders that are using that as either their governance or anything. So it's scary to be. And I don't like memes. I'm not a meme guy. I hate memes. I hate them. I only play with them for trading them, right? So, but that's just my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong. Like, I've been wrong in the past. I'm the guy who faded Doge. I'm the guy who faded Doji. I'm the guy who faded all that stuff. You know what I mean? I got out of Rats too early. I got out of Ordi. Well, I didn't get it in Ordi. I got out of Sats too early. I get out of everything too early. That's a meme because I'm not a trader. I'm really an investor, and if I can, so I want to invest in DeFi projects.
Yeah, I mean, and there was a really good point by like Thoth. We know that Thoth's a great guy.
Amazing.
He's a big advocate for ARC20s and atomicals. He's been over there for a very long time, but he made a good point, and he said, that runes literally is a bootleg version of ARC20, right? And I mean, whether you agree with that or not, because we don't know everything yet, because the protocol hasn't launched officially. We kind of know the back end, and that's UTXO model and all this stuff. But I mean, it goes to show kind of like how strong like marketing narrative can really take control of like an actual like fungible token market, right? And because Casey's the one that's behind it, it's like, I don't know if I love that, but at the end of the day, like there's going to be opportunity for people that missed out on, who I think is going to benefit the most from this. People that missed out on Ordi and Atom, because like those shot up pretty good. Like obviously Ordi got all the way to like $90, 90 something dollars. Atom got all the way up to like, did it get up to like 20 or something?
14 was the highest I've seen it.
Okay. But we're talking about like from like cents, right? Or like, and so like Rune Zero is going to be that opportunity where people, it's not going to last cheap, but like you could still get it. Imagine getting it like at like, I don't know if it's 21 million supply. Imagine getting it at like 50 cents or something crazy,
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be.
If Casey puts the mint to 1, it's 21 million. You know what I mean? Potentially Rune Zero. So 21 million
to 1.
1 per.
Oh my god!
I mean, he could. Everyone wants Rune Zero. I don't give a rat's ass about Rune 2 or Rune 3. I want Rune 0, Rune 1. That's all I want.
How's he going to do it in a fair way?
Well, that is the fairest way.
Putting it to 1. You know how much that's going to cost to get like.
Yeah, but tell me, but the little guy has an opportunity to get 1.
I mean, you're right. You're not lying about that. You're not.
And if it goes to 60, 80, 90 bucks, the same market cap as Ordi, it's the amount of wallets that could be holding Rune Zero could be
21 million wallets. No,
well, no, it wouldn't be 21 million. It would probably be like a million,
or like at least in the 6
well,
figures.
no, probably wouldn't be a million. Yeah, probably like what is it for voyage right now? Like 100,000, something like that.
Yeah, but so. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, you're talking about like you want at least like 1,000 of them, right? Like, for it to make sense in terms of the value.
That's $60,000 if it goes to $60.
Well, I'm just saying, like, but how much does it cost to mint 1,000? Because that's going to
cost you like 20 grand.
More than that, because like it's how much is it per?
Yeah, and I'm just speculating. I have no idea how many he's going to put it.
Yeah, I mean,
but I think that would be the fairest way. Rune 1, 2, and 3 can do differently, but Rune 0, I think you got to do small mints.
Unless they just code some way to make things fair, which would be really cool. To where you can't.
Isn't that centralizing it?
I mean, not really. If you're, just like building the mechanism for it. Like that's how like the protocol was built, and then there you go. Like now, like hands off. You know what I'm saying? It's like building the soft. Like Bitcoin was built still at some point, like some way, right? And so like, and then he put it out there, and so he could do it like that to where like there's like a front running, not
mechanism.
a way to front run it, but
yeah.
We'll see. All right, so after we just talked a lot and sucked all the hope out of BRC20s, we're gonna go over the BRC20 market update.
Sorry, guys. I don't like to be this way. It's just this is my true opinion. That's it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think there was anything wrong with that. And guys, we're not saying BRC20 is out like going anywhere for sure. Look, but you can see here, OKX was definitely like the front running, like the number one like marketplace in terms of BRC20 volume. And look at this, number one is PIIN, and we're talking about like it's not even at $1 million. We're looking at $500,000 in total volume for 24 hours. The market cap's at 16.29 million. Then you have LIGO coming in at number 2, right at almost $500,000, 453,000. In terms of 24-hour volume, and the market cap is 10.68 million. Then you have Pi, number 3 at 369,000 in total 24-hour volume, and the market cap is at 20.47 million. Then you have SatX at 348,000, market cap at 8.98 million. AIDF at 326,000, and then 1.62 million. DBTX at 321,000. And then you have the market cap at 1.48 million. AINN 252,000, market cap at 41.2 million. The price for this per AINN is $1.95. Rats coming in at 206,000 for a 24-hour volume, and the market cap is 271 million. I mean, Rats is still definitely holding up pretty good.
Yeah.
I think like some of these will get help though once like they can be tradable on Merlin, like in Merlin swap. I hope people add liquidity to them. It will help a lot, in my opinion. That's something that BRC20s has, some hope for. I think because like you're talking about $271 million market cap here. There's a big community. 16,000 holders. So. And then you have AIW3 at 156,000, 24-hour volume, and 884,000 market cap. And then NOTS at 153,000 total volume and 2.85 million. MMSS comes in at number 12 at 131,000 with a 6.91 million and 32 cents. Track coming in at 74,000 in total 24-hour volume, $3.76 per track, and 79.26 million. And then we'll hit on 2 more. Zbit, 73,000, 24-hour volume, and then 17.1 million. Hey, shout out to Zbit and the BTC machines. They've been kind of rocking and rolling lately, man. 81 cents for this guy. And then we'll hit on Pups here at $49,485 in 24-hour volume, and the market cap is 35.29 million at $4.53. So yeah, man, that is the weekly BRC20 market update. As you can see, the volume is still kind of decreasing, or nothing's gone. I like to see millions in the top 5. That's what I'll say with volume, but we'll see what happens in the next couple weeks here.
I'll take you guys over to the Magic Eden part of the show for the digital artifacts. And that number 1 spot, we have the runestones. Look at the amount of Bitcoin in 7 days, bro. 839 Bitcoin in the last 7 days. That is double Ordinal Maxi Biz at 365. Almost triple. That is incredible. But it's new. Wendy O is buying the top right now. So I do think that the top, if it's not, and it's definitely close, I don't really see these getting over 0.07. I've been exiting. It's just, it's Runestone is going to be a meme coin. Yeah, you're going to get airdrops and stuff for holding it, but I'm going to get airdrops for holding my other stuff too. And I'm kind of gearing up to buy an Ordinal Maxi Biz. I haven't pulled the trigger yet because I just do not like the ones on the floor here. But me and Yago, you were talking. We think the airdrops for these guys are going to be pretty insane. with the rune stuff that's coming. So I'm really thinking about grabbing one. There hasn't been. If I buy one, I want to be proud of it, and I'm just not like I just don't really like these ones. I do like some of the ones that are down here, but you know, I'm just kind of waiting patiently for the one that I like to kind of hit the floor if possible. But that's just my personal thing. And we have the no bunkie sitting at 0.729, 230 and Bitcoin puppets. I'm also thinking about getting a puppet here, sitting at 134 Bitcoin in volume, 0.0265. And Chris made a good point. And I really didn't understand. Like, I didn't really get why I thought these were so cool. It's that South Park feeling. When you look at these, you see South Park, right?
You kind of do see it a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. He convinced me. I was like, he's like, that's why you like it. And I was like, God damn it. And he told the whole story about the first episode of South Park with Cartman's yeah, I don't want to repeat it, but Cartman's A probe. So and then R6 meta protocol sitting at 0.076. Kind of came back. It's got all the way down to 0.05 and now battling back here. It is definitely you know, obviously there's a lot more rune stones in R6. There's 21,000 R6 and 114,000 rune stones. Quantum Cat sitting in that 6th spot, sitting at 0.345. Got all the way up to around 0.36 today. Rune Pups really came out of nowhere. This is another derivative off of Bitcoin Puppet, sitting at 0.016. The Nat Cat's really taking a beating. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I told you so. Sitting at 0.050. I think this is still a good selling opportunity. I'm not very bullish on them. Little Pup sitting at 0.004. Another derivative off the puppets. And then Room Totems. This was another airdrop sitting at 0.0037. And then COCKS sitting at 0.0029. Wow, frogs are taking a beating. Frogs are taking a
They're
beating.
below point. They're below. Yeah.
Down below 0.1 now. So
that's crazy.
Yep. That's scary. Sitting at 0.098. I don't understand why there's only 16 Bitcoin in volume for the frogs. Really sad, and it kind of makes me sad because if you go back to the early days for us, frogs were the #1 project. It was them. You remember the top 3 projects back then? I don't see if you remember.
Let me see. Okay. So
I'll see if you get them.
So there was frogs.
Yep.
There was this before OMB?
No, OMB was around.
Okay, so
they just dropped.
Okay, so they were considered one, right?
Yep. There's one more.
Okay, and I think it was Pingus.
No.
Or was it the Bears? Bear Code?
No. Nope.
Hold on. Let me see. Okay.
It was on another chain as well.
Oh, D-Gods?
Yeah, the D-Gods. The D-Gods.
Yeah.
Yep, it was the D-Gods, it was OMB, and it was the frogs. In July, August, and September.
But frogs were always #1 though, remember?
Yep, it was frog. Well, the OMB would pop up every now and then.
And then OMB did take the lead for a little bit.
Yep.
That's right. I remember.
And then D-Gods took the lead.
Yeah, briefly. D-Gods briefly.
They had it for a while, dude. They had it for weeks.
Did they?
Yeah.
Huh. Damn, dude, that was so long ago.
That's
crazy. Well, it wasn't, but it was.
Yeah.
Like this space is kind of crazy.
So much for keeping this episode short, huh?
Yeah, I know, right? Well, can I show something real quick? Because
do your thing, bro.
I want it's crazy because you're right about the frogs. Okay, so I did a poll today, right? And I said best long-term play ? And I put Node Monks, I put OMB, Quantum Cats, and Bitcoin Frogs. And pretty decisively so far with almost 800 votes, man. Bitcoin Frogs right here, 44.4%. So, I mean, I think it shows kind of community strength, but at the same time, it's not showing that in terms of like Bitcoin strength at all, right? So, but I hold 2 frogs. I feel like they will have their moment to where they jump back up. I just don't know when that is. We'll kind of have to wait and see. I could be wrong, man. I could be wrong, and frogs could go away, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. They're just they're too much. They have too much involvement in the ordinal culture. You know what I mean? So
everyone's ribbiting, dude. They were all ribbiting for freaking months. It almost got annoying, but.
Yep.
You ready to take us to the graveyard?
The graveyard is that? Well, there's two. We still have BRC 420.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's the graveyard.
Okay,
it's nasty over there.
Oh, it's definitely nasty right now, guys. The blue box right here, you can see it's dipped to 0.4474, which is right at 30 grand. And then you have mineral right below that has taken a pretty big hit, man. This thing was at 2,500 not long ago. It's at 0.0098 right now. I don't know.
What is
I have my
0.0098? 600?
Yeah, $663. So okay. I've heard that there was some stuff going on with the Chinese community where there were some whales that like just they expected more, but now so they I think they got all of that out of the way. So hopefully this is like the new floor, and we'll see what happens, because I'd love to see this get back to that 2000 mark, but we'll see.
You know what would do it? You know what would bring them out of the graveyard?
What?
An insane APY.
Yeah,
absolutely insane 1200% APY would bring them out. And I don't know how long it would be, but it would definitely get them out of the graveyard and getting people bullish again.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. It would, but we just don't know if that's going to happen, right? So I think that we just need to start seeing like what the earnings are going to look like. But hey, look, we have all our stuff staked in there, so we'll kind of see. Then you have the music box right underneath that. That's been doing pretty decent, holding up at like 0.01793, 1214. And then Dragon Ball has jumped up a bit. It's at 0.002145 at $145.28. The Blue Wand at $166.61, 0.00246. And what else do we have in here? Chip Game at $180, 0.00266. Yeah, not bad. We'll jump to the Ordinal Revolution Pass, which we've been holding, some decent price floors here, 0.021, $1,422.29. And you get a bunch of whitelist airdrops, a bunch of stuff. And let's check out the mines. They're probably on sale right now, I bet. Verothium mines.
They got swept when they announced that Eric was the new. We didn't get into that. Verothium Mines announced that Eric is the new CEO. If you don't know Eric, you're living under a rock. BRC 20 coins. And these Verothium Mines, man, they seem very, very flammable. I don't know about you. I feel like you can light a match but
yeah, no, I agree, man. They are very flammable, and I think there's going to be a very good, party bonfire.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But they're sitting at $34.41, and I don't know, man. Like, what's the total supply here? 21,000. I don't know how long that stays there. Whether there's 1,300.
Whoa.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so that is the BRC 420 market update for the week.
I can take you guys over to the degen area of Merlin, which is sorry, I should have had this up. I was too busy looking at your Verothium Mines there. Add this to the screen. Verify that I'm a human, because I am sometimes. Sometimes I'm not. And then I think we got to check out the dog or the cat. Actually killing it today. Look at this candle, guys. Look at that candle today. Absolutely amazing. Down a little bit though, but the original one skyrocketed this thing all the way up and now down a little bit there. But Hoo-Hoo, man, what do you think about Hoo-Hoo sitting at $18 million market cap? Fully diluted. What do you think?
I think that is, I'm not shocked. There was a lot of news with Hoo-Hoo today. Yeah. And, the fact that like the MBTC has been released, and, every day I think people are going to start, they're going to release some other M tokens, because they're not all released right now, right?
No, you have to actually apply for them right now. And I applied 2 days ago and I still haven't received mine. So we'll find out. The Voya token did actually amazing today as well. Had a super god candle over there And what am I on the hourly? So if you got to go into the daily, kind of give you a little bit more of a look at how big that God candle actually was to the comparison. Flew up there, sitting at that, about $6.20. So they announced that there will be another fair mint. It'll be the RUFI token, Rufi or Rufi, whatever you want to call it. Do you think Rufi actually hurts Voya? Because it's kind of like dilution of Voya, right?
Not really. I don't think
I think
so. Just because
they're the
it's a
same
B.
tokens. They're the
What do you
same
mean BR?
tokens.
Because they're BRC20?
Well, no. Just because they're like obviously one's the first BRC20, one's the first runes. It kind of gives that, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like it dilutes the power of Voya a little bit.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it'll be fine. And like because of the runes narrative, I think it'll get people attracted to it, but I
Yeah.
don't think it pulls anything away. But at the end of the day, like I think you're right, like especially over here, right, like with this DeFi environment, I think people need our teams need to start getting these utility tokens out or adding utility to them. We'll see what happens. I'm excited for it because like it's going to bring the whole like energy from the runes over to Merlin.
I agree. I'm excited. Definitely excited.
Yep.
And then we have Drac as a new token. You actually told me about Drac. What do you know about Drac?
I know that they got whitelisted and there was some sort of there's like an airdrop that they're working with, but click on website link right there.
Where's that at?
Go to the right, down, right there.
No dragons.
Yes. So I think they have
Ooh.
some sort of they have like I
Let
don't
me
know if
not do that though.
I think it's like what?
Let's connect the wallet. But be careful.
Yeah. Not yet, right? Well, I guess you get an airdrop or something.
And
I'm
ended
not
it
sure.
then.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
But
I don't know.
man,
I think
no
they're like a
dragons.
gaming type of platform. It says so.
Oh, it lets you get the track. Oh, wow. Let's not go crazy here. All right, and that is and that is your mark.
Yeah, there's one thing I want to show though.
Yeah.
I think it was saying from the community asked about, because they announced that you could stake Hoo and Voya on the Merlin seal. So you have to use a different link. It's not the regular link. So you got to go to Merlin seal SEAL.meson MESON.fi. And this is where you can do the EVM stuff, right?
Gotcha.
So yeah, exactly. So you got Hoo here and Voya there. So you can stake those on the seal if you'd like. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there.
Could you grab that for me so I can put that in the show notes?
Yeah, for sure.
Just put it to the private. All right.
I think that's it, man.
Yeah, I think that's a show. Yeah. Any last updates besides? I mean, we'll be live tomorrow. We'll have the Sunday update. Spaces on Saturday. We're thinking about moving the spaces. We need to talk about that a little bit more, but we kind of want to have our weekends now that we're going to be grinding all week. So we kind of want to put spaces during the week, and we think you guys would enjoy that actually more to get at that while you're potentially doing your weekly business. So
exactly, yeah, we'll figure out the date on that though and update you guys. Nothing else really. Just make sure that you're checking out the website for news. Discounts on your Nashville Bitcoin conference tickets. Also, go to our store tab. You can get some gear. You can get some hats, Ordinal Revolution hats, Bitcoin hats, everything. And just stay the course. Remember what brought you guys here into Ordinals, and we started the bull market, but there's going to be corrections and stuff, and that's what we're going through. The crazy euphoric, everybody's throwing money at each other hasn't started yet. We'll see that once retail's here, but just be patient. Not financial advice. Be patient about things in life, I would say.
Well, the runes, you got to be patient for the runes because they're not coming for another month. We in 30 days from today, we'll be at runes. We'll be at the halving. We'll be at potentially Bitcoin over 100K. We'll be we'll be in what it's going to seem like be crazy, right? And I remember back when the BRC20 stuff was going on and there were so many opportunities, I was exhausted. I was like out of breath because it was like I felt like I couldn't sleep because it was just so crazy, and that's going to happen again. So I think we have to appreciate these downtimes and just get enough sleep because it's about to get wild in BRC20 and ordinals and I'm sorry, in runes and ordinals. And I think you need to be need to be ready. You need to rest it. You need to have some Bitcoin on the side, just in case, so you can hit on some of those opportunities. And I'm really excited, and I can't wait. And I hope you guys enjoyed our update today. If you have not hit the like, please hit the like. We don't tell you guys that enough. We have to, because we're not getting enough likes, guys. We're not getting enough likes. We appreciate you guys. We work hard for you guys. All we ask you for is hit that thumbs up button. But guys, check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles in the game. If you want your if you're going to Nashville, make sure you hit that link. You got 20% off. And if you're going to Nashville, you need to have your ordinals gear. So go check out ordinal gear. If you don't buy it from us, buy it from somewhere. But in Nashville, we need you to wear your ordinal stuff. And anything I missed out on?
No, I think you covered it, man.
Okay. Oh, the membership. Definitely, if you guys are thinking about what is in our personal portfolios or what is in our heads, definitely check out our become a member. That link is in the show notes as well. And we'll see you guys. See you guys tomorrow. That's the show.
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.